Hi, Tracy. Welcome to Toronto. Talk to us about your line that's only available in Canada.
Yes, I have a lot of disgruntled people and friends and family in the United States who would like to get it but can't.
Well, it's only fair because Bountiful Buddha was only in LA boutiques, so Canada.
You're right. It's only fair.
It's only fair that we get the exclusivity, but will it be coming to the States down the line?
We are hoping that, but right now we are just exclusive to the shopping channel.
And talk to us about the jewelry. What's the design process like? Do you have a team? Is it all you?
Yeah, I am working with a great manufacturer. It's collaborative, but I have inspirations for each collection. This one is Love, Peace, and Faith. So you'll see crosses. Because for me to have love and peace, there comes faith. And whether that's a religious faith or faith in your family or your friends or your higher power, whatever that is, I believe all three play a really important part in our lives. The other thing to note is that this collection, we don't bring in thousands of pieces. These are really exclusive. And when people get them, they won't be, they're special pieces. And that's why we're hoping people will call right away, because there's only a certain amount of each. And then we move on. And every 2 months I get the opportunity to bring in a new part of the collection.
Are there any of your favorites?
It's almost like children at this point because they're all so great. I get so excited to see them. You see them in the design process. We talk through them, what colors they should be, what they should look like, and then when you actually see them finished, it's like a birthing process. It's wonderful.
So now you have different styles. Like you mentioned
Right.
the piece, which is more young for maybe younger people.
I actually feel, especially with this line, that the jewelry is ageless. I said earlier today, it's not judgmental. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, whatever. It makes you feel good, but anybody can wear it. Ageless, from young to young at 99.
And the fleur-de-lis is one of my personal favorites, which I liked.
Oh, thank you. I just recently went to New Orleans with my younger son, Landon, who's a fan of Food Network. So we went on an eating frenzy through New Orleans. Christian, my TV husband, is also from New Orleans.
Is that his favorite?
Yes, so he has a lot of fleur-de-lis.
That's great.
So moving on to Y&R, Scotty, Lauren's son, actually lives in
Yes,
Toronto.
wouldn't it be nice if I was actually seeing you up here?
Any chance that Scotty might come back?
I never say never.
Okay. Storyline-wise, Jana passed away.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
Jana and Lauren got really close, especially when you
In the
guys were
cage,
in the
yeah.
cage. Fans, as of air date now, we haven't really seen a funeral or a memorial service for Jana.
Yeah,
Can we expect one?
I don't think so.
No? So
No.
it's just kind of,
So sad. I
wow.
was stunned because I think, and Emily, by the way, was nominated for an Emmy for this last year. Very, very deserving. She's such a beautiful person on the inside, but such a beautiful, talented woman on the outside.
So she's obviously missed by fans too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we miss her so much.
And your most recent storyline had Jill discovering that she's a Fenmore.
Yes.
It caught fans by surprise. How did you feel by it?
It caught us by surprise too, but I just love Jess so much, and we call each other sis in real life. She'll write me even on the Facebook, "Hey sis, going here," and so we consider each other sisters now.
So Lauren's been on the back burner since that storyline wrapped up.
I know.
I
I know.
And her biggest stories she's always been in danger.
Right.
Someone's out to get her. Are we gonna maybe move away from that? Have a different storyline?
I'm ready for a storyline that doesn't involve duct tape. Yes. Yes, I'm getting into more of a business-oriented story that I think the fans are going to flip out over.
Can you give us who are you working with in the storyline?
Right now, I'm going to be working with Victor Newman,
Wow.
which we have not seen. Actually, Lauren Fenmore and Victor Newman worked together since Lauren's father passed away,
Okay.
and she was left Fenmore's.
Wow. So working
Victor
with
has always sort of been like a mentor, quasi-father figure for her.
Yeah.
So now you get to see that again.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So this past week, Michael and Diane have been spending some time. He's been serving her annulment papers, and fans have been wondering, is the show doing a chemistry test between Christian LeBlanc and Maura West? What's your take on that?
I didn't know. I'm shocked. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe to do like some sort of triangle, but the fans love Michael and Lauren so much, and from what I know of the storyline coming up, again, never say never. You never know. If it adds interest and we get to play something fun and different, why not?
Okay. And last year you were in a doppelganger storyline as
Yes.
Sarah Smythe. Fans were a little surprised because they were doing another doppelganger storyline at the same time on the same show with Emily and Patty.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that story?
Well, at first I was thinking, how are we going to make this work? I've never played a twin before. That was really interesting to have 60 pages of dialogue and no one else is in the scenes but me. Having to learn it from one side and then literally having to learn it from the other side was quite a challenge, but very, very interesting. And working with someone who played me on both sides, and then sort of having to remember, creating a whole new character. This character walked differently, she talked differently, she even held a gun differently. This is a new person, so it took a lot of work trying to create this that had nothing to do with. So I've been playing Lauren so long that where I end and Lauren begins, kind of the lines are blurred. So this person had to be completely separate and different. It was very interesting.
Fans were actually they were surprised about the story, but everyone was saying that you did an amazing job
So
at
nice.
taking over Sarah.
Oh, that was so nice. But I really thought the show did a great job in bringing it all together.
Yeah, I think that made more sense than have two doppelgangers walking around. They don't even know each other.
I thought it was amazing.
But do you think that maybe the show's had a little too many doppelgangers? I mean, there's John and Alistair, Marge and Catherine, Phyllis
Try not to
and
judge.
Fila, and now they're doing Cain and Caleb, his twin brother. So do you think that fans are maybe not that happy with these doppelganger storylines?
I don't really know. I just know that they are fun to do.
And now Susan Lucci's also playing a doppelganger on All My Children.
Yeah, just saw that the other day, and she was holding a gun. I'm like, hey, I did that last summer.
But a lot of critics are blaming these I don't want to say contrived, but these doppelganger and Back from the Dead storylines as the reason why soaps aren't doing well.
Interesting. I think there's a lot of choices these days. With cable, I'm not quite sure, and I should find out whether if you DVR the show, whether it is counted in the Nielsen's or not. I don't.
It's only counted if you watch it that day.
Really?
So most people, they TiVo it or DVR
watch
it,
it,
and they watch it
right.
on the weekend when they have time.
Right, so there you are. The ratings aren't actually probably accurate, but it's really sad to see daytime changing so much. I was so grateful. I've been so grateful that I got the chance to be involved in daytime during the heyday. It's kind of a painful process to watch it change.
Because you've been in it since 1978, right?
Yes.
When you started on Days.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you sad? Do you feel like...
Yeah. I mean, when I started, there was something between 13 and 14 soap operas. As of January, there will be 4. I mean, I actually think this daytime Emmys, I hope everybody watches. I think it will be the last one that's ever aired.
Well, fans are vocal. ABC is having their upfront on Tuesday, and ABC fans have taken, or just soap fans in general, have taken out an ad in the Hollywood Reporter. It was published yesterday on Friday, saying Disney save our soaps.
Oh.
And now they're planning a protest
I just got chills.
at the upfronts
I hope
in
so.
New York.
I hope so.
Fans are there. It's just, do you feel that maybe executives aren't looking hard enough or doing their job properly?
No, I think it has a lot to do with budgets. Soap operas are very, very expensive to produce, and fortunately or unfortunately, talk shows and reality shows are not as expensive. And they're getting, the same ratings. And I think as a network president, you kind of weigh the options.
Now, do you feel that the 4 remaining soaps, especially Y&R, you guys have been number 1 in Canada for so many years.
And we've been number 1 in the United States for over 19 years.
So that is saying something, but do you feel that maybe Y&R will be like, it's because it's a wake up call for the rest of the soaps as well? Even though you're number 1, will you feel like, hey, maybe, the writers, are they going to start doing something different? Are they going to bring in fresh blood?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't really know. I think it would behoove the writers to maybe shake it up and look at different avenues and see what worked or didn't work on the other shows that are going to be ending. I think it's going to be fascinating, even as a fan of soap operas, to watch how these shows kind of tie up loose ends. I think between now and the end, it would be incredible to watch. And it'd be incredible to watch what their ratings are.
Well, One Life to Live is doing better in the ratings than General Hospital, which, I mean, the audience is there.
Yes, it's interesting, but you realize One Life to Live is also the last soap to be done in New York. I'm so sad for the people on All My Children, not only because obviously jobs will be lost, but last year they moved the entire show to Los Angeles. So all these people have homes and apartments or just bought new homes or new places and were kind of uprooted and now no longer have a job. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around that.
Back to some good stuff.
Yes.
Enough doom and gloom.
Okay.
But you've been playing Lauren for
A long time.
A long time. 28
honey.
years?
28.
Yeah, and fans love you.
It's so nice.
And what has been you've been on The Bold and Beautiful as well as Lauren, what's been your favorite storyline as Lauren on both shows?
I think it was the storyline where Kevin was obsessed with Lauren, and then it was the love affair and the dawning of the love between Michael and Lauren, and culminating in the engagement show. That really was so beautifully written, beautifully done.
You mentioned your friendship with Kevin. Lauren hasn't checked in on Kevin since he was abducted by Jana.
I know. It's very painful, but Tracy and Greg have dinner every 3 weeks.
Okay. And you're also close with Elizabeth Hendrickson, who plays Chloe.
Oh, Lizzie, yes, she's like my little sister, and also the Stafford, Michelle.
Michelle, yeah. So if Kevin and Chloe are they're allowed to be together now, will they be spending more time with Michael and Lauren?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think they're both so incredibly talented, and I love working with them. They're funny. They make me laugh.
Lauren's been through, like we mentioned before, she's had to deal with a lot of psychos.
I know.
Yeah, and even
Every psycho I get.
and you gave Brad a heart attack in bed.
Well,
He was married to Tracy. Yeah, so
it happens.
Lauren's been through a lot, and she's
Yeah.
done a lot. And has there ever been a time where you've looked at the script and like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't believe I get to do this, or I have to do this?
On a daily basis.
So we talked about you working with Eric Braden. Is there anyone else on the show you want to work with, or you'd like to have a storyline with?
I've really worked with almost everyone. I'm just such a fan of a lot of the actors, just their talent. I think Michael Grossaday is incredibly talented. Michelle, obviously, Christian blows me away. I mean, sometimes it's hard to act with him in the scene because I'm watching brilliance and I can't believe what I'm watching. There's just I'm just trying to think who I haven't really had a chance to work with Kane and Lily. I haven't really worked with Maura West, the new Diane. So actually, if they did do something, it might be fun to do a triangle. She'd really be fun to work up against. Michelle and I always have a blast working together.